Welcome to Charts Today. Today's edition for Friday, the 30th of January, comes to you from Singapore. It's just turned midnight in London. It's 8 a.m. in the morning here in Singapore. I'm off to see a client for the whole of today, so I'm recording this early. We've seen the US markets close and lots has happened, so I'm just recording it early today. So the dollar index is sort of settled a little bit. If we look at the 60-minute chart, we see here that we might have just found a temporary floor. We've got an upside target that's not yet been activated, but we are still below the cloud bearish. And of course, the medium-term picture, having broken that level, is pretty bearish. If we stay below that level, that's going to be a sign, and then we see a previous support level there at 95.14. That's going to be significant as well. So mostly about the dollar and currencies. Bitcoin's had a bit of a close shave. That's certainly quite interesting. We've got these position here with the targets, and just put those on the chart. We haven't yet activated that downside target, but we are very close to it. Intraday, we will have activated. I'm using close prices. Notice how this target was met. These are I've mentioned this idea that we recover a little bit and then we lurch further down. That's consistent with the bigger trend. So really, that low that we just saw there at 83,350. That level there, we break that, that's going to be very bad because it will activate the downside target. The Nasdaq was down 0.5%, so that's quite significant in terms of the cash. We have activated this target, but we need to break and hold to a new high. That's really what we need. The E-mini was also down, and that is set to open lower. It's obviously quiet at this time of night, and the DAX was pretty badly hit as well. The actual cash market down 2%. So we are just seeing an effect spreading globally. And if we look at some of the techs that reported, we had really big falls there in Microsoft. That downside target now nearly met. That was given at 490, and we can see here that 419 was the level that we just touched. So you can't ignore the targets. Meta, on the other hand, fared much better. They were punished earlier in the year, and they've recovered some of that ground, but really quite a lot of volatility kicking in, and Tesla having sort of mulled over the results, down 3.5% to a downside target there as well. So really quite key. If we look at Asia, markets already sort of open here. Japan's steady. The Hang Seng continuing to break to new highs. That's really significant there. We can see that target. And most markets up. Now, Brent crude, that was actually up 3%, so really significant move there. We're back above the 70 level. If we hold that for a few days, that's going to be potentially very, very interesting. And the weekly chart on Brent is the one that we really want to look at. Can we break above that 70 and hold it? We want 3 weeks above that level, really. US Nat Gas, we had a huge move in the recent weeks, and we're just sort of we went to the new contract and holding some of that move. Cocoa recovered 2%. That's been quite significant. So we're seeing some movement there, but we have nearly met the downside targets. And if we look at gold, of course, that is still running away to the races, and 5,500 hit. And if we look at the short-term targets, we need a pullback. We've had a little bit of a pullback. That's generated a new upside target, albeit an unexciting one. That target was met really quickly on the 60-minute, and we've got a target to just a new high. We need these pullbacks to generate new targets. And if we look at silver, similar picture there as well, with upside targets just a little bit higher. We need a significant pullback to generate the next one. Looking at bond yields, they've calmed down a little bit, so that's quite significant. If we look at the daily chart there on the US 10-year, that's just steadying at the moment. And if we look at Japan, of course, that's where the money has been, if you like. We're watching that market very, very closely. Still not activated that downside target, and the 40-year is still pretty scary. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm out for the rest of today with clients. Have a great weekend. I'm back in the UK on Monday morning. See you then. Bye for now.